Alright, well, I'm back. Got the fire going. I'll just stoke this a little bit. Sorry for the brief interruption. Essentially, what happened was the controller battery was draining more. So basically, I'm using a crowbar for this. The nice thing with this is again something called Envirolog. It's not actually wood. I mean, at one time it was wood. Hi, Delvin. Sorry for the little brief interruption there. Yeah, a nice little fire going there. I do storm chasing around here. It'd be interesting to have the drone. Although, I don't know if I want to send up the drone into a storm. Ooh, I feel the heat on the phone. But here, I like this little thing. It's got a good flame, and that's just one log in there. So, part one didn't work so well because I forgot to charge the drone controller. I charged the drone, but I didn't charge the controller. What was that? How much? What did you say? How much rain is in the forecast? Tomorrow's not really going to be any kind of a rainy day. It's more scattered showers. We could have some periods of rain briefly. I don't think we're going to be in the inches. I think we're going to be all less than an inch. Because there's going to be a little break in the day, so maybe some showers early in the morning. A little break, then it may start up again at about 2:30 in the afternoon. And then maybe a little bit lingering into the evening hours. Originally, when I was working on television over the weekend, I was forecasting that the rain looks like it would linger a little bit into Wednesday morning. That may not be the case at the moment. So the forecast models are showing it's pretty much going to be over before, say, dawn, even though dawn's getting really early. Sun rises at about 5:30 in the morning. So, interesting there. But I don't think it's going to be too much. And really, Tuesday is the only tarnish on the week. And for the holiday weekend's a little bit interesting. Holiday weekend's not going to be a washout, Raymond. Saturday is going to be a beautiful day. Then later in the day, going into the evening, that's where we're going to start to see some clouds and showers develop. So Saturday is definitely the pick of the weekend. Then on Sunday, starts to bring in some showers again. That will linger, and maybe some rain too, linger into Monday. Monday could also bring maybe some thunderstorms. It's a little bit far out to say for certain about the thunderstorms, but it can happen. But tomorrow, really the only tarnished day of the week, because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all look dry. Wednesday, maybe some clouds in the morning, but then nice sunny skies in the afternoon. Thursday, Friday look like beautiful sunny days. Even going into Saturday, beautiful sunny day. But then that's when we're going to start to see later in the day Saturday, overnight Saturday, increasing clouds and showers. Then a kind of soggy day for Sunday, a soggy Sunday. But that could linger into Monday for Memorial Day as well. I'm working all day on Monday, so it didn't really matter to me. I'm not doing anything because I'll be working almost from dawn to dusk and then beyond dusk. Yes, I did see that. But I don't think it's be anything like last Tuesday. It's funny that it's becoming a Tuesday thing. But, we'll see. Never, I don't think anybody expected 4 tornadoes to come out of the Hudson Valley last weekend, and then, what was it, 10 across the region? Let me just stoke that fire. It's getting a little bit low. Get a nice little flame going again. Basically, I'm just brushing away any of the burnt parts of wood and paper. So yeah, again, this is Envirolog, which is recycled cardboard and recycled paper. This is a log of paper. It behaves and is shaped pretty much like a regular log of wood, but it's very environmentally friendly. All right, I got a nice little flame going again there. Just reading your comment there. All right, what did that say? Was the number of tornadoes in the most significant event in 20 years? More research. Raymond, I actually have no idea about that. But it's probably out there because all the tornadoes that did happen are confirmed now. So there's nothing really else going on. Oh, let me get the drone out of the driveway before somebody drives over this. So this guy still has some little battery life left, but the controller doesn't. So how was everybody's day? If you're from the Northeast, there was a pretty good high pressure system in place, so today was a gorgeous day. It got a little warm, upper 70s to maybe around 80. Not like yesterday. Big difference between yesterday and today was that yesterday had humidity. Just before the trailing end of the cold front passed through, dew points were getting in the upper 60s. So upper 60s with temperatures in the 80s make it feel really sticky. And a funny story, after I left television yesterday, the parking garage is pretty much underground. It's almost underground. It was cool, a little damp in that parking garage. Then when I left, as soon as I got out of the parking garage, boom, all of windows fogged up because the outside of the car was pretty cool. It was in the low 60s in this garage. Then going outside, it was very humid and the temperatures were already in the upper, or right around 80 degrees. So instantly I lost all vision while driving. So I had to pull over and try and get the windows defogged, which was kind of fun. Let's see, what'd you just say? Depends. If I avoided the wind, it would have been fine. I have flown the drone in the rain. You shouldn't, but I have, and it was fine. There's this little dome in the front that you can attach into the front of it that prevents any rain from hitting the camera and getting to the internals, because the air intake for the cooling, because that thing gets really hot, that's right by the front camera, which is right at the front of the drone. So it was fine if I avoided the wind. I have almost lost the drone before because it was pretty windy. I was curious about how strong of winds it could take. This was a day it was about 20-30 mile per hour winds, and it was taking it. I was trying to fly it back at full throttle, essentially, back home, and it didn't. As it's trying to push forward, it's actually moving further away from me, which was not a good feeling to see at all. Oh, you were talking about the hail. Yeah, golf ball, tennis ball size hail probably would have destroyed the drone. That's why it's fun to fly, but you gotta have the right weather for it. Even in the snow, it was kind of interesting to see snow because the snow can stick a little bit to the top if it's pretty stationary, but then it starts to melt pretty much on contact because that thing, as I mentioned, gets very hot. And here, this is the controller for it. Essentially, the phone that I'm streaming from right now fits into the bottom here. And then there's a connector. And this connector allows communication between the iPhone and the controller. So that's how, if I remembered to charge this, I would be able to stream for longer while I was in the air. So I haven't seen what the footage looks like. So after I finish this live stream, I'll have to go back and take a look. And there goes another train. But it was cool to see at least a live stream of New Jersey Transit going by. It's pretty calm right now. So last week was a pretty rainy week, so this week hopefully we'll make up for it a little bit after tomorrow. Pretty nice stretch of weather for anybody just joining. Once we get past tomorrow, which is gonna be a little bit wet, nothing really like a washout or anything, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all gonna be great in the Northeast, specifically right around the tri-state region. Wednesday morning could have some clouds and clearing for the afternoon as the system coming through Tuesday starts to trail off. So that is what we could be talking about. Ooh, I can share right here. Let me see. Oh, I am still live. But the timer's not going. There it goes. I don't know, did I stop streaming? Because I tried to share this and it took me straight into the Twitter app, so I don't know if this stopped. But what was your question, Raymond? Oh, never saw that hail size in a couple years. Yeah, I haven't either. We haven't had a severe weather outbreak in a while. Looks like we got some smoke coming out of here, so we'll stoke this again. I'd say there's about half a log left. You can see all the white is the ash, so that's suffocating the flame right now. There we go, got a good sized flame going again. I never heard of this brand before, but I like that it's environmentally friendly. Even though fire is destructive, it is kind of beautiful in this situation to watch. Nice relaxing night. Can I zoom in? No, I can't zoom in. Well, I think once the tornadoes are happening, it doesn't matter what the rating is. Whether it's a high, moderate, doesn't matter. Because tornadoes are happening. But the reason I'm thinking there was no high risk was because there were no significant tornadoes. They were damaging tornadoes. I think it went up to EF3, But the EF4 and EF5 tornadoes never happened. And that EF4 and EF5, if there's a risk of that, I'm pretty sure that's what triggers the Storm Prediction Center to issue high risks. So I have no idea when the last time there was an F5 or EF5 tornado in the Northeast, if there was ever. I'm pretty sure there was. There's a squirrel almost directly above me right now. There was an interesting video with a squirrel where I have no idea how it would happen again, but this guy left his GoPro on the ground. Some curious squirrels, they grabbed it and thought it was like a nut or something and took it up the tree, all the way to the top of the tree while the GoPro is still recording. And they tried to peck at it. They took it to the top of the tree. You could see them jumping from tree to tree. 60% wind. Wind has no effect over a high risk. Or a significant effect, I should say. It does play into it, but even if you have a risk of damaging winds, that doesn't prompt a high risk from the Storm Prediction Center. You need the tornadoes. No EF5, no high risk. You can tell it's more than halfway done because the fire starts to get a little bit smaller after maybe a couple of minutes of stoking it. In the beginning, it lasted maybe 20 minutes until I had to touch it. And there's the drone. I kind of like this little sanctuary that I have for a little backyard. Nothing big, but it is nice. So let's go stoke that fire again. Well, if you do research on it, you're not going to find any answers because there is nothing set for what triggers a high risk. For instance, a severe thunderstorm warning. You have criteria that you have to meet. Whether it's, I think it's 1 inch size hail, and you have a couple like set criteria. For a high risk, you don't really have set criteria. It's whatever the meteorologist on duty is forecasting for. If they're forecasting for those significant tornadoes, EF5, EF4, then that's what allows them to, or kind of coerces them to issue a high risk. It's very subjective. There's no set criteria. All right, so we got that going a little bit more. Here we go. Yes, any of the watches and warnings have set criteria, but high risk, moderate risk does not. It's fun watching the flame here. So right now by me, let's see what this is. 75 degrees. My phone battery is going a little bit low too, so I'll maybe another 10 minutes. We'll see. Ooh. I've never really played around with this live stream here. Ooh. I'm negative. Hello, Anthony. Sure, what is the question? Yes, those, I agree with you, Raymond. I don't see those too often. What is this? Ha! Oh, this is funny. I didn't even know these were in the YouTube app. What else do we got? Whoa. This one's called Dream. It kind of looks like that. So I'm pretty good with remembering dreams. And I guess you could say lucid dreaming, because I can remember the dreams and I know I'm actively dreaming, but I can't necessarily control it. But it kind of looks like this from my memories. Is you have tunnel vision. The outer edges are kind of blurred, but the middle is a bit better. What else do we have here? This is fun. This one's called Glamour. Doesn't look like anything different. Beam. What else do we got? 8mm. Ha! There's a whole movie. Just checking your whole question here. Now, Anthony, where specifically are you talking about? Well, Northeast U.S., I know, but you got to get very specific. Are you talking about central Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Hudson Valley, Connecticut? Because most of them know they are not derechos. Or derecho. I had no idea these were even in here. Well, a derecho can happen anywhere. Yes, that's squall line. I don't know if that met the criteria. Because when we were talking about that in the live stream last week, I'm hunting. Kind of interesting. When we were talking about that in the live stream last week, we saw live on radar what could have been thought of as a derecho. I don't know if it was ever called that. I will have to go back and take a look to see if it was officially a derecho or not. This guy's almost done, it looks like. Let's see how much more I can get out of this. It's kind of breaking up now, so it probably won't last too much longer. I don't think 40 miles is long enough to be called a derecho. Yes, I love that sunset past 8 o'clock. All right, so we got a good flame going there. I had no idea these filters were in here. It was long-lived enough, but yeah, I don't think the 40-mile-per-hour winds were strong enough to be called that. This filter is called, the phone battery is going low. This filter is called 8mm. Does anybody watching have 8mm cameras? I think I still have an 8mm projector. I think, yeah, I think I may still have an 8mm projector. It's an old black and white movie. So it's interesting that these filters are here. I never knew about that. Yeah, if you just Google search derecho, you'll see some great examples of derechos, and I think the one you brought up, Raymond, is a pretty good one. But those don't happen too often. You have gust fronts that happen more often. Still going. So it's just under an hour that the log's been going. Something spooked the birds. Where I am, there's actually a coyote problem, so gotta keep that in mind. I don't think with a flame going they'll come anywhere nearby. But I got a crowbar. I'll fend off a coyote with a crowbar and some fire. Caveman style. I don't know, cavemen didn't have crowbars though. The one day before May, you mean May 31st this year? Which year are you talking? Oh, 1998. I know. Sorry. May 30th, 1998. Well, let me see if I can look that up too. May 30th, 1998. I'm just going to try and look that up real quick. $1998. Derecho. There we go. There's actually an article from the Storm Prediction Center. May 30th to the 31st, 1998. And they have some... Actually, Raymond, there's radar on here. Instead of trying to grab a YouTube recording of it, this link, if you just Google search May 301998 derecho, the very first article on Google brings you straight to the Storm Prediction Center's article, which has some radar loops, which is kind of neat to see. There's a Wikipedia page, and then there's a bunch of YouTube videos linked on here as well. And one of these was National Weather Service Jetstream. This is getting a little bit more specific, so if you guys are interested, types of derechos. Derechos can be categorized into three main types: serial, progressive, and hybrid. These categories are largely based on the overall organization and behavior of the thunderstorms produced by the derecho. The type of derecho most often encountered during the spring and fall, which is probably what we had, serial derecho. Serial derechos are produced by multiple bow echoes embedded in an extensive squall line. That was your YouTube message or a Facebook message. Well, where are we? Serial derachures are produced by multiple bow echoes embedded in an extensive squall line, typically many hundreds of miles long, that sweep across a very large area, both wide and long. This type typically is associated with a strong upper-level trough with a strong surface low system. And yes, I saw one. I didn't see many. There was one, and like we were talking about, with Raymond, Anthony, there was one bow echo I did see, and you could probably go back to my live stream last Tuesday, and I think I mentioned that also in one of the other live streams that I brought up. Oh yeah, I think it was last Thursday that I did the gaming live stream where I tried to do a gaming session. I brought it up there as well. I think with those, there is one radar image in my live stream. I just go to the one from last Tuesday that shows a bow echo happening in Pennsylvania. Boston, I didn't watch, so I wasn't sure what happened in Boston. It was essentially, I saw it coming through my area, and that's where I was just pretty much focusing because it was pretty intense. So after it passed through my area, I just pretty much stopped following everything. This is an interesting article. If I didn't have two phones I'm going through here. If I didn't have two phones and I had a computer with me, I'd be able to send the link or put the link in the chat. But the fire is going down a little bit. We'll stoke this guy again. It's getting small there. See how much we can get out of this. It's almost done. The main core log is pretty much falling apart here. So this is pretty much the last little bit of it. The rest is just turning to ash. Fire is, as a chemistry teacher I had in college and high school said, fire is complete. Burning something is not reversible. So burning something, as I mentioned from the my chemistry teacher, burning is not reversible. It's a very complete type of destruction. The biggest example they gave, and I didn't even realize this until I tried it, was with bread. You have raw dough, you bake it, it becomes bread. But if you take cooked bread and you start kneading it again and adding a little bit of water, it'll uncook itself and become dough again. Try it. So you can turn dough into bread and then turn bread back into dough. So it's a very reversible system. Fire can't reverse a fire, which is what's going on right now in Hawaii. I don't know, has anybody been following Hawaii with the lava? No, anybody been following what the lava in Hawaii? Yes, the volcano. I think recently it actually explosively erupted. I'm not sure about that. So I do feel bad because that's total destruction. And the last thing I heard was the lava flow was about to cross over a major highway, basically cutting off one half of the island from the other. So we'll see. Oh, are you actually watching the late night sunsets, Delvin? I've never been to Hawaii, but the interesting thing with Hawaii is all three. Yes, Yellowstone has been a concern. Yellowstone has been a concern for a very while. Oh, is having sunsets after 8:15 in the night good? I like it. The later the sunset, I like it. So 8:30, 9 o'clock sunsets, I'd love that. And yes, Yellowstone's not likely to happen anytime soon because it's been sitting there. Couple things with late sunsets. I get to be out later. If this was winter, what time is it? 7:45. If this was winter, it'd be pitch black already. So I wouldn't be able to sit outside and enjoy this beautiful evening. Second, once it gets dark, you have to turn the lights on, using more electricity. The longer the sun is out, the less electricity you'll use. If you have your house positioned properly and you have proper lights. I guess you can have, if you watch any of those like HGTV things, they'll talk about natural lighting. But if you have the sun out longer, you'll use less electricity because you're lighting your house from the natural sunlight. So that's a good thing to have later sunsets as well. Also, I just like the way it looks. Personal thing. Nothing professional. I think I went through all these filters. Ooh, I didn't go through this one. Ah. This is funny. Can I move bubbles? Wow, it moves bubbles. Look at that. Let's see what happens when I start walking. The fire pit's making bubbles. Let's see. This is kind of cool. I can move the bubbles. That's interesting. Well, let me see if I can stoke this a little bit more. And yes, we are. I just watched a special that they did, or a little segment they did on, I think, CBS News. This is going to be the worst Lyme disease outbreak year in a while. All right, so this is pretty much just flattening it out. So that's probably going to be the last end of it. Look at that thing. Ticks don't like cold. When it's cold, ticks usually like to go and hibernate. And I don't know if it's CSX. It just says Jersey Transit on it. I don't know what the brand is. Probably CSX. I think they're hybrid diesel trains too. But yeah, they go like every 10, 20 minutes. I got a train going by. I've become, I guess, used to it, so I didn't even notice a train went by until you said it. So, Raymond, that's how used to I am. I didn't know a train was going by until you just said another CSX train. Yeah, I get the same feeling too. So, once the summer solstice happens, late June, June 21st, June 22nd, you just know after that fact the sunset's going to be getting later. That's why I like this time of the year. Late April through early June. Just because it's not that scorching summer heat. And you know the sunset's going to keep getting later and later. I think there is. I think there is a medical condition called that, but I don't know. Let me see. And there goes another train. Yes, that's seasonal affective disorder. This would be weird showing a phone on a phone. Can it focus? Essentially, what this is talking about is a mood disorder characterized by depression that occurs at the same time every year. And this is using light therapy, changing light. This is also something that you've been seeing on a lot of technology too. Is Apple calls it on the iPhone and the iPads and even the Macs now, night shift. Windows has it on Windows computers. I forgot what it's called on Windows computers because I have it on my gaming computer. But at night, it'll turn the screen more warm with white balance terms, but basically makes it orange. That orangey temperature tends to be mentally a little bit more easing, and also biologically your eyes are getting used to seeing this orangey color at sunset. So that's what, yeah. Flux sounds familiar, but I know Mac it's called night shift. iPhone, iPad it's called night shift. But that's a something that medical research is happening right now. Oh, I think the fire is just about to go out there. Let's see. We got some embers. Yeah, it's out. But you can see it's kind of like flakes. So that's the paper, the recycled cardboard, recycled paper. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the by the fire pit again for the second part of this live stream. The first part I wanted to go a little bit longer, but the drone remote controller died. I forgot to charge it. I charged the drone, forgot to charge the controller. So it was neat though that I have that ability basically to do a live stream from the air. I'm on the ground, but my camera at the live stream is up in the air. That could come in use, come in handy. So I guess you'll be seeing a little bit more of that very soon, so stick around. If you want to see more of that, and you want to see some more weather updates, more car stuff, more gaming stuff, hit that little subscribe button below if you haven't already, and the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a video or I go live. And to anybody that subscribed already, thank you. I got a lot more great content for you. So, this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Thank you all for joining. I enjoyed the conversation with you while you joined me out on this beautiful night. So, have a great evening, and I'll see you guys what looks like tomorrow in my weekly weather podcast. Have a great evening.